Random word generator, randomwordgenerator.com. Opening up, and then we have a look at this. So it's set to nouns as always, and click generate random word. Organization. Whoa, what a big word. Okay, let's have a quick think about what organization, what comes to mind. So organization to me is like a big organization, or I mean it could also be a small organization, but when I think about organization, it's, a little family business is not an organization. An individual person who does some sort of project is not an organization. Organization is where it's organized into some big thing, right? And organizing or organized, being organized, kind of, everyone can be organized, I guess, but organization means that something is basically it's like there needs to be systems in place. So an organization could be like a charity or something, or some sort of organization, a government, some sort of agency, or business. So is there much to say to that? Yeah. Organization. Is there any interesting tangent that we can go? I guess there's so many organizations that we deal with, right? Like I just said, like some sort of government organization, businesses. We most of us work for businesses, work for some organization. Some people don't. Some people are out on their own. But yeah, organization also means kind of like get people together, right? So if it's people are organizing some venture, say a charity is probably a good organization, and then a business, simple as that. What comes to mind if I think of business, for example, because that's probably the most common organization around, I guess. Business, I deal with, obviously I work for an organization, for a business, which was bought by another organization, and then that I think is owned by some other organization. So that's how it works in when businesses are getting bought up, and they basically stay the same, but they are owned by some other bigger organization. It's really interesting sometimes if you look at some well-known business, and then you have a look at who owns that, and normally it's like an organization of other businesses. Or a holding company. I don't know. The first time I saw that was with Metro in Germany. Like as I said before, I'm from Germany, and the first time I realized, oh my gosh, what this means is that. They own, so Metro is a big, I think they do bulk food. They sell food in bulk, and I'm not sure if they commercially sell it or if it's only to, I think it's a lot to commercial actually, because it's bulk, it's big. So they have these massive warehouses, massive supermarkets, but where you can buy bulk stuff. And I always thought that was just the business, but actually they own so many other businesses. It's nuts. And I just saw this kind of chart where they showed who they own, and they owned all these other brands. They own lots of brands. And then I'm not sure, but I think, and they were all big brands that they were owning. So I was like, oh my gosh, if I buy at this company, technically I also buy from Metro, right? I also do businesses with Metro. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And that is pretty interesting, I always find. And that goes on and on. I think that's everywhere like that. Just thinking of the supermarkets here, a lot of the supermarket, I think there's 3 pretty popular supermarkets here in New Zealand, and they're all owned by one entity, one big company, and they probably have even more supermarket brands. But it's basically it's kind of hidden from the consumer, because they actually want to have these different brands, and because different brands can be marketed to different customers, right? And I don't know. I always find that I find it fascinating, but I also I felt a little bit icky about it, because I feel like it's a little bit of trickery, because you're basically buying from the same vendor, but you think you get some sort of premium there, and then but the budget version is actually not that much different from the premium version. And they have products, say they have the same products in 2 of these branded supermarkets, but the price in the premium one is a lot higher than the price in the budget one, which is kind of like, okay, maybe they pay their staff less, or they save on other things. But I don't know, it kind of feels wrong to sell, to some customer to sell something at a higher price, the same thing at a higher price than to the other customer. Feels a bit off to me sometimes. But yeah, that's how it is with these big organizations, and I think that's why they don't really want to show who owns who owns all of them, because sometimes they have a bit of a bad reputation as well, especially if they're so big. They people know that they are not the nicest the nicest employer, or the best company out there. And I could spill some more beans, but no, I think that's it now. So other organizations, obviously, official government organizations or not-for-profits or charities, that's all, we kind of need those. We need the official organizations, which are, they could run better, of course. And wherever you go, you find, say, government organizations, and they are pretty, they are often a bit backwards, and they are not that efficient, But they're always getting better, but they're always a little bit behind the actual enterprise, the actual business organizations, because it's just not about profit, right? It's not about, so if it's about profit, it's all about efficiency, right? If it's not about profit, if it's just about the system that it works, and then the incentive to make things more efficient is just not as what should I say? It's just not as prevalent. It's just not there as much. So sometimes those organizations can be a bit painful, because they're slow and they're just not as efficient. but they are getting better. Just thinking about the New Zealand government, they are definitely getting better over time. We have dealt with the New Zealand government, through our visa and the whole residency and permanent residency and citizenship. We are citizens. We have dealt with them, and over the time they definitely got better. They also got more expensive. I mean, everything gets more expensive. That's another topic for itself. I think inflation is going to be one of the words I'm going to talk about, which is a painful one, but it's just a fact that I think the older you get, that's what I just realized. Now I'm going off a bit on a tangent, but the older you get, you realize more this is just what happens, right, over time. Everything gets more expensive. I never realized that so much when I was younger, because I just saw, you see it a little bit happening, a little bit. But then if you really look back over time, holy, it happens a lot. And yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about organizations. I mean, I could probably talk more about businesses and things, because I'm also investing, but that's probably for another day, because there'll be other things like stock market or public company or all those things we'll talk about another time. Okay.